Hi guys, today let's analyze Twitter data. This is alternative data and it could be very useful for us to understand ideas from the market. And I show you some problem with Twitter data. For example, you see if you get this data and we have multiply of Twitter and we need create some architecture to systematize this information to find some ideas, and I started to provide some ideas here. For example, I realized some cluster when we analyze this data, and we could do some deep cluster, and we could select a different value to understand what think market. Okay, also we could analyze some sentiment, option, opinion, topic, but it's not enough to analyze all the data, and we need to do some summarization of this data. What I mean, for example, we get 100 Twitter data, and we are going to use neural network to analyze to summarize this data and create some main sentences about what to think about market. Okay, so let's do. So on my backend server, I deploy Kafka and neural network, and we need to work with it. Okay, so for example, let's use Kafka to processing data. From Kafka, we need import consumer. It could be very interesting for you how to create some big system to process alternative data. And let's analyze from simple to complex ideas. And what else? For example, also we need to import .n. I created environment when I input some my server name, some password, URL to API. I mean. So from .n we need to import this value, and we could create this configuration. Let's do it. For example, configuration would be .n values, and we need to indicate our file of environment. You see this file. Next let's create server name. Server name would be configuration, and we need get server. Next we need get URL when I deployed neural network. Configuration get URL. Okay, next let's do some simple program. We need to create, for example, method data processing. Okay, return none, and to connect to Kafka we need to use Kafka consumer. For example, would be consumer would be our Kafka. No, it's not correct. Kafka consumer. Okay, let's copy paste this information, and I need to get Twitter from this Kafka consumer. So I read data from Twitter and input this data to Kafka. And I used this information from different algorithms to analyze this data. because I have several server to analyze data, and we need to create some architecture of this. Let's indicate client ID, client ID. This is some default parameters, and last we need input bootstrap server, bootstrap servers. Okay, should be list of our URL server name. Okay, so it's clear. Next we need to read some data of this server name, and we need to do it using loop for message in our consumer. Now let's when I connect to a consumer, I need to filter this data by Twitter. I need topic, message, topic should be Twitter. Okay, and our tweet would be, we need to import JSON. Let's import, what is import JSON. I delete, okay, I delete library from .env. Need to import .env values. Okay, import, and we need to use our JSON file and convert this data. It needs import library JSON, and from this library we need to call method loads. When we read data from consumer, we need to call values and decode this data using UTF-8. Okay, let's import also library logger to debug, and I need to install this one. Install. Okay, it's already installed for me. And let's print this data. Logger info tweet. Okay, and last one, we need call this method. Yes, if name should be main. So when we read, when we call this file, we need call this method. It means data processing. Okay, it's look fine. What is the problem? Imported button used. Okay, let's call ls summarization, and we need to call our file. Bootstrap servers is not recognized. Let's fix some bug, because it's incorrect to indicate argument. Let's call again. is not a good topic. Okay, because it's also incorrect. Loguru. Okay, I forgot that we need from Loguru import logger. Okay, let's call this one again, clear, and Python consumer. Yes, so we see this is a multiplier of data. This is my stream data from Twitter, some very noisy, some garbage files, and we need to create some algorithm to do some summarization of this data to understand marketing, what they have ideas. And you see sometimes we have some message. I stop this information. In this message we have time when Twitter was created, also text and source of this Twitter, and some indexes of polarity, subjectivity, and this index I apply into my website with price patterns. Okay, also we have some topic, for example, right, smart. Okay, but it's not enough to summarization of this data. What we need to do? Let's clear this one, and we need to import another library request. So I said that I deployed a neural network on different server, and we need to connect to the server, and we need collect this data of Twitter to, for example, to one big list. Let's call message just be a list, and you see like this, and we need to append all this data. Let's create it, and also we need to import some timestamp like this. Time stamp would be data time, and you need to import the library of this UTC format. It means we need English time. Okay, from data time import data time, and also import. Okay, let's also install this library. It's already installed. Okay, timestamp, and let's create some messages. To be dictionary. Let's okay, for example, message would be a dictionary, and create it at timestamp, and we need get data text, and we get data of tweet because we got data in JSON format. Tweet get text. Let's okay. What is not correct? Message. Okay. Next, we need to append messages to a global value variable messages. Let's do it. It would be, for example, message, and we got text. Okay, and let's see if do some conditional. For example, if our length of messages would be 100, for example, and what we need logger info tweet. Okay, let's commit it, this one. Let's check what happens. So we append Twitter to our list messages, and when we have 100 of this data, we print this data. Let's test this one. Messages. Okay, it takes some time to cover, but I tweet only one tweet. Okay, I need print all this data. Okay, and let's do some coding. For example, what we need to do: all messages. We need to join all these messages to one string. How to do it? Okay, let's print, and you see this is our 100 messages of Twitter, and we need summarization of this data to understand idea of market. Okay, let's do join this data. Join. We need call map function. I would like to convert all Twitter to string. List. I need list also set of messages. Why I did set? Because sometimes we have duplicate of Twitter data, and we need got only unicum data of this Twitter. So this one would be a one big string. Let's check it. I would like to show you this process. Maybe it would be useful for you to see some development process, how to use different technology to create some production. Okay, we wait, but we need to create some request. So we need to send all this big string to, let's go. I stopped. So you see this would be some big string of all Twitter data, and we need to send this all data to neural network. How to do it? Let's do it. Transformation data. Okay. I would like to use request library, and I need method post. I would like I input my URL, but I hide this URL because it takes some resource of server on my on my backend server. Okay, so it will be URL data. Data would be dictionary, and I need to indicate text would be our all messages. Okay. So when I got this data from the server, let's do like this. We return some text of neural network. Let's see. Text data would be JSON. We need to read this file like JSON, and we got transform text. Transform text. Okay. But maybe sometimes we have some error and we need to check status code. If transform data, if status code would be not equal to 100, it means something wrong on the backend server. And let's print the situation. Logger info. And we return status code. Okay, it's clear. Text logger, and I would like to return this one. Okay. Import button used. Where maybe we need to use it in the future. Okay, but I deleted this library. Okay. Redefinition, what is mean? One second. Okay, because I used this one. So what we need to do, I print this all data. Let's do it. What happens? Maybe it takes some time. We need to collect 100 Twitter, convert this one to string data, and we need delete and duplicate of Twitter data. Next, we send this data to my backend server, and our neural network process this all Twitter data, make some summarization of text, and to give us some summarization of this text. Would be some main topic of this big noises. So it takes maybe 1 minute, but let's wait. Okay, text. I have some error. Transform text. Of course, because I have bug. Transformation data. Okay, let's do it again. Python consumer py. Yeah. Okay, so let's wait. It takes some time, and let's create another method. We need to do some processing of all this text data to clear this information, and example, let's create clean data, clean text maybe. Okay, so you see we have some summarization of neural network, and this text is generated by neural network. What is the main idea? We could analyze of all noises, and we convert of all these noises by neural network to some useful text for us using generalization data. And the secret of neural network, if we input a very big text, and message from neural network could be some clever for us. It could be some main idea of market. What is mean? For example, if I would analyze not 100 data, for example 500, but for production I plan to analyze 10,000 Twitter data or 5,000. But for demonstration, let's run this one. Yeah. Invalid syntaxes, of course, because let's do like this. Sure, let's wait. But I need to do some improvements this code, because we need input for neural network some clean data, because if we input some garbage data, we input also garbage. So for example, this method, we take argument some Twitter. Let's do some processing of text. For example, tweet, this is a string, and we need replace this symbol. Okay, next, tweet, replace also this symbol. Also we need import library. Tweet. Okay, let's zero to 9 plus, and what else? And we need to input our tweet. Okay, I copy paste it this one, and I would like to explain it. Okay, so we do some clean text, and also we need to do some processing of smile using emoji, and we need to import emoji. Okay, but for now we got some information. Bitcoin is one of the right side of history, and we get some information of this neural network. Okay, it's working, and our idea is do this processing of big Twitter data. Would be cleaner Twitter. Cleaning tweet. Let's do this improvement. for example, we need when we send our request for API. Let's do it, and I would like to show you what's working. Let's do it. Where is messages and cleaning? Where is the method? Cleaning tweet. Let's do it like this, clean. And I would like to send this data, and also let's print it for you. Logger info, and input all message clean. Okay, let's see, it's not defined, and I need to import emoji. Okay, maybe it's working. Let's test it. Python and consumer. Let's wait. When we have 500 messages, we do processing these messages, we clean this tweet and get some big string, and we input this big string to neural network on backend server, and we got some answer of this neural network, like summarization of this tweet, and we print this data. And another, I would like to store this data to my database, because I would like to use this database to display this data into a website, and I would like also to analyze this information using in algorithm training, because we did some summarization of Twitter data. It means we do some processing of noise data, and we are going to create some useful strategy using processing of this neural network. So let's do it. I would like to import from DB. I have file DB. This is my database, and from this file I need to import Twitter transformer and current session to connect. Let's see, what is this? This is a class. This would be like table name, and we get some ID, timestamp. This is the date when we create, when we did some processing this data, and we input a result of our neural network. Okay, let's check answer of neural network. You see, this is 500 Twitter messages what we processed, and we input this data into neural network, and we did some summarization of this data. So if we input more data, let's do like 1000, and we need to test it. Let's see what happens. But before we need do some add data to to our database. So text data, we got this data. For example, add data would be, we need to call our class what we create of database, and we need to indicate timestamp would be our timestamp using Greenwich time, and our text would be text data, but we got dictionary. This dictionary has k. In this k we have a list. In this list we have also k summary text, and next we have string. So we need to store only this information. It means text data has summarization. Let's copy paste it. Summarization, and we call the first element because we return only one element of list, and we need summary text. Copy paste. Let's do it. Something incorrect. Control V. Okay. So when we create object of class, let's store this information to our current session, add, and we need to add this data to database, and current session would be commit. Okay, like this. Also, let's print it, but for demonstration, let's do it faster. I would like to test this data, my database. Okay, let's do it. Clean. Let's call Python consumer. Okay. And also we could write another method to test our database. I need from import desk because I would like sort information. So our request would be data. We need to call our current session. Current. Okay, let's check what is wrong. I did some wrong. Let's check it. Of course, because it's incorrect. Okay, and import we need to use current session. We need to create a query to our database, to our table. Table is Twitter transformer data, and we would like to get information with some column with entities, and I need. Okay, you see, I got data from neural network. I store this data. It means it's working. Let's call Twitter transformer. Would be our timestamp. No, timestamp. And Twitter transformer and text. Okay, and next we need order by desk Twitter transformer timestamp, and I would like to get the last message first. Okay, let's try to call it. So the last store data was here. Yes, so it's working. So next I'm going to implement it to my startup. So I deploy it using Docker and Docker Compose, and I'm going to analyze 5,000 Twitter data. It takes maybe 20 minutes to collect this data, analyze this data. So every 20 minutes I'm going to analyze all market noise and display this information for you. So if you like this video, guys, please subscribe on my YouTube channel, and see you later.